Uh-huh. And what happened next?
I negotiated with that chort, and he did what I asked.
Well done, Vasilisa. I myself couldn't have done it better. I remember my youth as a Koldun. Those were the days.
I got off easy, you could say.
That's right, you furry short. Go catch some mice.
Let the charts catch them. It's not a job that befits a Susietka.
Proshka, can cats be used to break the seals in the book? Help me check, would you?
All right, I'll catch some mice. It's not hard or anything. I'm not torturing you like your charts, after all.
Well, it's time to deal with the next seal.
The seal of the wolf. I was thinking about werewolves.
I haven't heard about them in Uyezd for a long time.
Proshka, can you turn into a wolf?
Nah.
That won't do. I need to think about this. In the meantime, go and deal with your business. Go visit your betrothed. It's time. I may come up with something.
All right, Grandpa.
Yes, it's good that I'm not one of those petty charts from hell. Work all day or curse people. That's like a kind of work too, right? I'm perfectly content lying here watching after the household. That's my thing.
What should the domovoy do if not prepare firewood?
Lots of things. You haven't had a Susietka for a long time, so your roof caved in a bit. Sedge and other things grow in it. I wouldn't let it get this far. Well, I'll clean this place up when I have time. I'm still not settled in here.
Maybe you could help my chorts?
Yeah, right. I have my paws full with matters of my own. Looking after the house, getting rid of the mice, putting out the fire. Yeah? You think that's enough work? I'd say so.
How are you doing in Grandpa's izba?
I'm doing fine here. I feel calmer, even. You don't have icons, and it's not like they used to have them in the church. And the corner over there reminds me of the old times. They used to keep food and the gods there.
We'll talk later. So much firewood will last us a long time. Old Igor made the chorts cut the firewood.
Hey, you! Cut faster! Curse you! Been chewing at my scalp all through my life. Frightened. Now let's get to work.
So, Grandpa, the chorts listen to you.
Of course. We've living together for so long. They still remember me, and they're quite scared of you.
It's good that chorts help around the house, right?
Well, yes. Cutting firewood, that's nothing. Once I sent them to plow the field, and they plowed the whole area through and through, the vacant areas, and the seeded plots too. They need lots of looking after. Still, they have their uses.
Maybe I should look for wolves in the forest?
What? No, we need evil spirits. Ordinary wolves won't do. I have an idea. Don't fret. We'll break this seal in time.
How did you get that izba, Grandpa?
The Izba? I inherited it. The older ones eventually all moved away. Some went away, some stayed in Vilgord. The house was left to me by my parents. It's old, like me. We don't have much time left. Soon we'll both go to the afterlife. I am leaving this Izba to you. There's no one else.
All right, Grandpa. I need to go. Sing winds from the quietest to quiet, from the lightest to light. Lift up the branches and sand from the grave. Split, Mother Earth, reveal yourself, coffin lid, and fly open, white shrouds, and draw open sweet lips. Tell me, my darling, of your life there, and ask me of our life here. I've been living here, wandering from place to place. I've witnessed all kinds of grief. All kinds have I suffered. I saved a girl from Abanya. See, there's some good done with this knowledge. I saved another girl from the wretched claws of a Vodinoy. I'll do anything to save you. Even if it means raising all the villages on Earth. My chorts will help us be together. Soon you'll be back, my darling. As soon as I break all the seals. And you, teach me. Guide me, miserable orphan that I am, how to break all the seals of the book. And I will reach out my white hands and pull you from the other shore.
Ah, Vasilisa, here you are. I've been thinking about that wind and three sides and river shells.
So you've remembered about being Sosietko in that spa?
Now, I think we should go back in the church in Yenidor. Maybe something will come up there.
Let's go. But is there anything left? Centuries have passed.
We'll search near the foundations, in the cellar. All secrets are hidden underground. You know that better than most. When we'll be in Galbets, maybe then I can tell some future. I'm a Sosietka after all.
Proshka stops every now and then. Circling around a bit, he hesitantly proceeds on his course. It seems as if something is bothering the demon, something about the road ahead that he hasn't himself realized yet. At the next stop, a gust of wind blows dust in your face. Could it be a demonic wedding? The road whirlwind is a harbinger of a northern night. The wind bends the trees and sends dust and leaves flying to the empty spaces of the Yenidor crossroads. Somewhere deep in the forest, a lone wolf begins his song. Proshka stops in hesitation once more.
What a wind.
Why are you standing there, Proshka?
I remembered. I used to visit this place often. Perhaps when I was alive, one of the church. Doesn't look like my church was worshipped in much, does it?
All you think is about being worshipped. What else could happen in the crossroads that tied Proshka to this place? Maybe you were buried here. Were you a great sinner?
Sounds about right. That's how I became a Sosietka. Let me think. I think I'm remembering something. Dig here!
I don't want to dig up your grave.
Dig, I say! What a thick-headed witch.
All right, as you wish. But if there's nothing there...
You dig up the earth near the road where Proshka told you to. Under a thin layer of dirt and near a rotten log, you find a silver plaque. Proshka furrows his feline brow, but doesn't feel any memories returning. The old bridge creaks from the cold wind, the cold water of some swampy river rippling beneath it. In the middle of it, you notice forest chorts looking at you with their cold, lifeless eyes from the reeds. The demon needs only lift his paw for the forest spirits to scramble in panic. You look at him in amazement. Was this his doing, or do the spirits know about the power of the Black Book?
want some pranics? I've sold everything already. Oh, you want some herbs? Well, take a look then.
The northern wind bends the treetops. Their rustling fills the swamps with a rhythmical noise, in which you hear the whisperings of leshis and the wings of demons flapping beneath the ground. You stop for a minute, thinking of how ancient these forests truly are. How many centuries have they stood here? How many centuries will they stand yet? Your meditations are interrupted by Proshka's grumbling. Yanidor is close.
What a dump, right? Look at all this rotten wood. And it used to all be so fine. Don't just stand there, Vasya. There is the door to the Undercroft. Open it!
This church looks empty now.
It's not as simple as that. Search the chests. Perhaps you'll find something.
What am I looking for?
How would I know? Now, don't look at me like that. There are icons all over the place. It's bad for me to look at them, you know?
Some pictures are mixed with the icons. Were they gifts from the people?
When you approach the old wooden planks, you feel a draft. Behind the planks, you see a narrow crawl space leading deeper underground.
The idols have river shells scattered around them.
Majestic idols of old are now lying in heaps in this dank and wet dugout. The eerie faces of the forgotten deities seem to emanate a cold draft. One of the idols is missing his carved face. An ancient wooden angel is watching you indifferently. You peer into his face, and it looks as if he's wearing a wooden mask. You touch the mask, and it falls to your feet. Its image reminds you of the strange chorts depicted on the idols of the demons. Behind the planks, you see a narrow crawl space leading deeper underground. Majestic idols of old are now lying in heaps in this dank and wet dugout. The eerie faces of the forgotten deities seem to emanate a cold draft. One of the idols is missing his carved face.
I think I remember. I remember everything. But look, what's happening to me? That's right. That's how I used to look when they called me Whitebeard. Hunters used to bring me river shells from the north, and I flew with the all-knowing wind with no rest and no respite.
Roshka, is that you?
Vasilisa, I remembered everything. All thanks to you.
Your name was Voipil. Who are you?
I used to be a god, the lord of the northern wind and master of the true people's destiny, those who lived in the forests of Cherry. I was once powerful for a time. Other gods came and believe in me dwindled. Thou shalt not worship the idol of Voipil, and thou shalt not deal out funeral feasts to him. And thus it came to be. The lights of altars dwindled, and so did my powers.
Are those your idols beneath the church?
Yes, they are. It was my lost temple, this dugout. I still remember that woman. Didn't want to lose the old faith. She hid my idols and put my face on the angels. That's how I survived, as a demon, but in a halo of ecclesiastical glory.
Why all the shells?
This is my symbol, my ears. I used to be omnipresent in this area. I used to cool the ferocious flame of the sun with my wind. But that time is long gone. All that's left are these shells. Bones of the past, long forgotten.
What will you do now?
I'll stay with you. I am in your debt. It's not like I've suddenly grown in power. The universe has been turned upside down. The gods of old are today's demons. And so did I. When people forgot about me, I forgot about myself and lost my erstwhile power. But now my past has returned, along with some of my strength. I will help you, Vasilisa. Who knows what other rebirths can I undergo?
So it turned out that our Proshka used to be a chute demon.
Jesus Christ!
Didn't expect that, Grandpa, did you? Perhaps now I'll be the one to tell you to hunt mice.
Unbelievable! I didn't think that such strong spirit would enter your service. I'm glad all the training worked out. Or is it the book? So, now you're going to stay with us?
Well, yeah. I'll live out my cat life with Vasilisa. I found mine, now I help Vasilisa find hers.
And no nagging about mice. You might be St. George himself, but you should still do your duty. While I still have my teeth, I'm the master of this house.
Don't worry, Grandpa. I'll take care of it. Consider the mice gone. How do you like my new fur? What a glow.
I don't know how to address you now. Proshka or Voipil?
Roshka it is. I've told you that I'll stay with you until all the seals are open. You've helped me, now it's my turn. I'm not scared of any charts. How can they possibly harm me?
What kind of spirit are you?
A chewed one. Hermans believed in me in the olden days. My powers have waned. I can catch mice, though.
You're helping me then again.
Yeah, and my power grows because of that. So I won't leave you.
You've remembered your past, but won't you forget it all once again?
Yes, you become that what you're doing. If you'll be a Sosietka for 100 years, then you'll become one. If you wouldn't have reminded me of the past, then who knows? Maybe I would have become a hairy old man then in another 100. Enough of this Sosietka business. When you'll free your guy, I go back to mountains. I will fly around like a free northern wind. I won't forget a thing that way.
God bless. Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa.
Why, isn't that groom with his bride?
So, you're keeping your word, Nikolai?
I told you I needed a bride, and with help from you and God, here we are.
The wedding is close. I see you've covered yourselves, as is tradition.
Yes, we needed to have this wedding as soon as possible, so that the Bonics wouldn't drag me back. I understand you have a lot to think about. Vasya, weddings are the least of your worries, but if you can't do it, no one can. You were the matchmaker for me and Nikolai, so you should stand as matchmaker by my side at the wedding.
I have no time to give a dowry at a bachelorette party.
Right. The week has passed. The dowry appeared at my house, and what I lacked, the girls from our village helped out with.
The main thing is you being my matchmaker.
I can't. I have other business.
It's all right, Vasya. You can go. We have some time. And when the wedding passes, a solution to a problem might reveal itself.
You too, old Igor, come. You'll be our master of ceremonies.
What an honor. To what do I owe the pleasure, huh?
Well, you taught Vasilisa and helped with the items for the bride.
That's right. Well, you see, Vasya, how can you say no?
Who did you ask to be your best man?
Petьka, the accordion player. He's an old friend of mine.
Fedka? What curse can he help you with? How can we attend such a wedding, Grandpa?
Stop it, Vasya. Fedьka will manage. He's a jester, but he can. Besides, we'll be there. We'll help with the evil spirits and Khalduns.
All right, but Fedka needs looking after, so he won't curse the wedding himself.
Thank you, Vasilisa. I brought a gift for you. I think you'll like it, and it should prove useful.
We didn't come only because of the invitation. We need a knower's help. My future mother-in-law hired brewers to make beer.
But they quit halfway through. They say demons chased them away. They're beside themselves with fear.
We decided not to approach these demons without you. Maybe it's Banniks trying to interfere with the wedding.
You made a wise choice.
Is the bright side brewing beer?
We decided both sides will brew. The villagers are close to each other.
In Pakcha, where my mother lives, there are some skilled brewers. We hired them. Father is long gone, after all.
What are they saying about chorts?
Some shadows are being noisy, turning over tubs and whatnot.
See, they're brewing the beer by the river, so I thought that the Aptericha might reveal herself.
When's the wedding day?
Everyone is invited the day after tomorrow. First is the wedding day, and the next day we're going for a ceremony. Not everything is by the book, but you know how it is.
All right, I'll help you. After all, the ceremony is incomplete without beer, and you have your whole life ahead of you.
Well, come the day after tomorrow then, if I'm the master of ceremonies.
See you soon. Lord be with you.
Greetings. God bless.
God bless. What brings you here, Your Honor? The stove flap is over there, to your right.
Alexander looks around, perplexed.
Grandpa, he's not here about that. He doesn't know these things either. And the matchmakers come without a groom.
Hello, Vasilisa. I was in the area for business and decided to drop in. I mean, I think you'll also be interested in this case I have. They talk about you and your grandfather quite often. You remember that fired short that tortured the girl in Logovo? There's a similar case in the village near Pakcha. It's called Severnaya Settlement.
That's where I'm going to track this chort. So, Severnaya Settlement? You start treating them with your methods. Perhaps I'll drop by.
Thank you. Till we meet again.
Hold on. Fancy some tea? Help me move the table first, would you?
Table? No time. My patients are waiting.
Alexander hurriedly leaves your izba. It's getting dark. You keep the black book ready. Khaldoons often put their chorts by the roads, as you have already witnessed several times. Soon, you notice someone's burning eyes under the roots of an old fir tree. Among the treetops, you notice a silent giant. His figure towers over the trees and sheds a dark shadow on the frozen road. You greet the chort, but hear only loud laughter in reply. A sudden wind bends the tall pines. You find the izba Alexander told you about without any difficulties, and question the locals. As it turns out, the husband of the sick woman died recently. Your acquaintance is already here.
These are fish traps. Looks like her husband used to be a fisherman. furniture, as well as the rest of the spa, has fallen into disrepair. It's clear that the woman can't look after the house alone.
You open the chest and are hit with a foul stench. Inside lie everyday items of the woman and several linen sacks. It seems they are the source of the smell. Bed sheets and towels, nothing of interest. You wince in disgust. The sacks contain horse manure, wriggling with worms. These are the gifts of a demon. To cursed people, they seem like gold and prianics.
Let me be. I need to rest. The fever won't let me be.
They say you became a widow. Oh, Jesus Christ, may he rest in peace.
Yes, he died, but I'm managing.
Sometimes dead husbands come back from the afterlife. Have you heard of that?
What kind of story is that? That sort of thing never happens. Lord have mercy.
Don't try to be cunning with me. I've seen all kinds of charts, and I can sense the walking dead from a mile away.
Phew, witch! What could you know about me and my Vasya? You know nothing.
Maybe I'll be able to convince her if I pretend to be her acquaintance. So, what did her husband do? Perhaps he was a fisherman. Looks like it. There are fish traps in the corner. What do you mean? I know you through my godfather. He used to go fishing with your Vasily quite often.
He won't be fishing any now. He's dead, I'll tell you. Go away. You and your groom, let me rest.
She still doesn't believe me. How can I convince her that everything's not so simple with her guest? You have a large chest. Did Chords bring it?
What a silly thing. I don't understand anything.
I know who is to blame for your sickness. If you want to live, you must tell me.
All right, I'll tell you, but don't you tell anyone. My husband didn't die. He still visits me in the evenings, but he told me to keep quiet. People won't understand.
You hear the sound of scattering sparks. A fire chort, familiar to you, emerges from the stove, and it immediately turns into a human.
Again with your plots, witch! Don't interfere with my business.
You want to kill me? Didn't work out for you last time.
Ha! Kill? I have another purpose. You stopped me here, but I'll find other creatures.
Not so fast. You can't hide from me in my Uyezd.
That may be so. That's why you will be busy with my new friends. I won't be back here.
A couple of chorts appear near him, while he himself turns into a fiery whirlwind and disappears into the chimney. You can catch up with that chort if you don't spend time on these demons. But what will happen to the sick woman? You open the book and read the first Zagavar. You defeated the Chorts, and the woman seems to be safe now. But how many souls will this fiery snake ruin? No one knows the answer to this question. You can only continue on your way. You notice the pale heads of the drowned, looking out of the water. They are almost certainly waiting for a careless victim to drag under. Realizing they were spotted, the undead lazily hide beneath the water. You hide nearby, and the drowners soon return to their spot. You open the book and read the first Zagavar. At the crossroads of two trade routes, you see the annual fair. Despite the late hour, trading is still taking place. Perhaps you might buy something for your journey. A multitude of goods can be found. Prianics, as well as a variety of magic trinkets. There's something for everyone here. You hear the lingering sounds of songs long known to you. At one of the izbas, you see a late-running Vichorka. It may be worth stopping to listen for a while. You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song. Life goes on as usual in the sleepy Pakcha village. The peasants have returned from their work and fill the village with hearth fire glimmers shining from tall windows. The shop is still open. The peasants answer your questions with enthusiasm when they learn that you are the knower matchmaker they have heard of. According to the villagers of Pakcha, they seldom encounter wonders in their mundane life. Everyone laughs at the men who were brewing beer. Supposedly, they were so carried away with their work that they saw the devil himself. You whisper a prayer and catch your breath. You easily find the home of the peasants who brewed beer, but their izba looks empty. You look into the galbets and see a man who is putting crosses on vials and barrels. He jumps when you call out to him.
Christ almighty, what are you scaring me for? I nearly died.
I knocked, didn't you hear? I'm here about the wedding. They asked to bring beer.
We couldn't cook the beer to the end, you understand? The bride is a chort in disguise, everyone knows that. So some of them sharp-tailed visited us. We barely managed to escape. With God's help, I'll bless the ingredients. We managed to brew the mash, then added hops to the cauldron. Everything with God's words, everything proper. A pound of hops and a pound of malt. And then a demon showed up. Lord have mercy.
Tell me about the demon you saw.
Someone cursed us. That must be it. Looked like a lump of meat that kept glaring at us. So we ran. Left everything there. We prepared part of it, but we're too scared to go there now.
So you brewed everything by the book?
Everything as it should be, with prayers and according to the recipe. First, the girls came to us from the bride's side, tried to put out the fire. Then, later, closer to the evening, a man came along. And at nightfall, it all began. The bride's cursed, so the devil showed up.
What man?
I don't know. Didn't have the chance to look at him proper. He stood for some time in the distance, and then left.
Did you brew by the river?
Right. Wait, you're going there now? This late? You'll be killed.
It's all right. I have God's word with me. The devil will have to retreat.
Well, God be with you. Go to the east of the last Isba. You won't miss it.
It's quiet in the brewing area. Too quiet. You anxiously look around. Evil spirits definitely had something to do with this.
Here are some barrels filled with beer that's already been brewed. I think that if I'm able to chase the evil spirits away, the brewers will be able to take it. Here's where the mash was cooked. There's some left at the bottom.
Here is the firewood that the brewers prepared. You take some firewood. This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You add some firewood. Now you can light the fire. You can't light the fire. All the logs have burned, and there's no dry grass for a spark to take. This cauldron is full of partially brewed beer. You feel an evil force hiding beneath the black surface. You roll back your sleeve and thrust your hand into the cauldron, but after a moment, jerk it out with a scream. Something bit you. There's some dry grass around here. It can be used for kindling. You take some dry grass. This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You put some dry grass under the cauldron. Now it will be easier to light the fire. You light the fire and take a step back. A spirit shows itself above the cauldron for a moment, but it soon disappears beneath the oily froth of the beer. The fire is extinguished by the spilled beer. Could a larger fire expel the Chort?
Oh, it's so sweet.
Here is the firewood that the brewers prepared. You take a greater amount of firewood. There's some dry grass around here. It can be used for kindling. This is where they light the fire for brewing beer. You add even more firewood. Now the fire will burn brighter than ever. You light the fire and take a step back. The curse falls to the ground as a repulsive ball of foul-smelling wool. This Chort was created by a Khaldun, but who would wish harm upon Nikolai? You send the brewers for the intact beer barrels and return to the Izba.
Later, I called some men from Bakcha after I chased away the Chort. They took the barrels with the cooked beer. Everything that was left in the cauldron was gone.
So much good beer wasted.
Looks like some Khaldun got involved.
Looks like it. Well, they're lucky to have you as a matchmaker.
You also keep your eyes peeled around Nikolai. Who knows?
I will. Many Khalduns like to ruin weddings. You know how it is.
Yes, and the guests are helpless. If you ruin a wedding, you can ruin the entire lives of the newlyweds.
That's all right. Just be attentive. You will protect them.
Right. I shouldn't expect any help from Fetka.
We'll manage even without Fetka. All right, we need to go.
God bless Vasilisa Fyodorovna.
God bless.
Bride sent for you. She doesn't let anyone touch the banya. Says you're the only one who can.
That's right. Tell her I'll be there soon. Get the decorations ready.
All right, I'm going then.
And I will go to the Nikolaevs to help prepare their procession. I'll be with the guests this evening. Be on the lookout. Don't forget about demons while you're looking out for Khalduns. Who knows who's mixed up into this?
All right, Grandpa.
Greetings, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I've fallen ill, have fever of sorts. Look, my arms are all withered. The day's near when I won't be able to hold a plow.
What did you expect? Weren't you the one last year who got drunk, climbed the Church of the Trinity, and knocked down a bell from there, eh?
Yes, Yegor Yevlampovich. It was I. I come to you for repentance. Vasilisa Fyodorovna, heal me. please.
All right, I'll do something about it. One doesn't deserve to die because of this. Here, sit by the stove.
You whisper several healing Zagavers, and the visitor feels better.
Oh, thank you, mistress. I won't squander this chance.
Thank you for coming, Vasya. I've been crying the whole night. I have no strength left.
That's how it is. If you want a good marriage, you have to wail a bit.
I know. But it's not that simple. I won't miss the Abdericha much.
This way you'll get a taste of grief and cry, but your marriage life will be sweet.
Yes, we need to go to the Banya soon. Decorate it properly. No one knows these rituals better than you.
All right, go cry about your hair. You can comment without me.
I will leave you a red ribbon.
No need, I'll manage.
Thank you, Vasya. I'll go then.
Well, to decorate it properly, I need to place Birchisel on the path and tie ribbons around the banya. Time to get to work.
Here are the decorations for the banya. Satin ribbons of different colors. You take the ribbons from the chest. Some birch branches lie here.
It turned out pretty beautiful. It will also keep the bride safe.
The old banya reminds you of the Abdericha. You chase away these gloomy thoughts. There's no need to go beneath the bench here. You're just decorating the walls. You are thinking about what color to decorate the banya. The barrel jumps from side to side and sways as if it were alive. You call out to the barrel. A boy's hat peeks out of it.
Well, witch, today Petchka the witch hunter will expel you from this wedding.
Witch hunter? Stop blowing the flute. I'm here to help the bride.
Right, as if I'd believe ya.
The boy starts to torture his flute in a severe manner.
If he doesn't stop playing, my head will explode. I can bring him around. And the Khaldoons can help too. What was it that the bride and groom appointed me? I did the matchmaking of the bride from the Bannock. You think I saved her to curse her wedding?
All right. I believe you. I heard that the Khaldoons curse weddings. I'm here to protect it.
What have you heard about Khaldoons? What have you heard about Khaldoons?
Do Khaldoons fight each other? One invites a Khaldoon over, and he turns out to be weak, like you.
What are you whispering there?
Nothing. So then comes another Khaldoon, a powerful one, and curses everything he sees, the wedding and the first Khaldoon.
Have you heard about Banix here?
I have. They grabbed the cursed and flay their skin. And the bride lived with them, they say. Is she an evil spirit too?
No, she was rescued.
So, a powerful Khaldun helped her.
Yes, I went with the groom.
You wouldn't manage without a groom, I bet.
So, you think I can't manage? Will you help me to guard this wedding?
I can. Together, we can do it for sure. Defeat the Khalduns!
It's time for me to lead the bride to the banya.
I'll look after you, witch. Let's deal with it peacefully, alright?
After the preparations are made, it's time to accompany the bride to the banya. A crowd of people has gathered to watch the ritual. Everyone wants to hear the wailings of old and have a look at the decorations. You sweep the road in front of the bride so that no cursed items will be trodden upon. You warn the bride that guests from her side might show up soon. Shorts sent by the Abdiricha. You're right. As soon as the fire is lit in the banya, a demon appears. After you catch your breath, you wash the bride while speaking the ritual Zagavers, and then help to get her in the wedding dress. Carts with wedding guests have already started to arrive at the yard. There will be a wedding gathering this evening, so there's going to be quite a crowd. Nikolai is here, as well as old Yegor, the master of ceremonies, and the groom's relatives. The moment the guests enter the yard, the mother of the bride brings her daughter out.
You came! Jesus, so many people.
Well, we came, yes, so greet your guests.
No wind and then a gale. No guests and then a swarm.
Greetings, Yegor Yevlampovich, Master of Ceremonies.
Howdy! Soon we'll make you completely human.
Greetings, noble best man, my loyal friend.
Well, as they say in Sheridan, bonjour!
Greetings, betrothed.
Greetings. See, I'll fulfill my promise very soon.
Oh well, the evening won't start by itself. Time to drink for the bride.
Don't go ahead of the cart. When the master of ceremonies tells us to, then we will start.
Come on! You're too ceremonial. They do everything quicker in the city.
Right. And the people there will lose what's left of their souls soon. We'll start this wedding proper, as it's supposed to be started.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't be angry, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. Igor Yevlampich, it will be as you say.
Unharness the horses and get ready for dinner. And I need to speak to you, matchmaker.
As you say, Igor Yevlampich, as you say. Come here, everyone.
Could you be a bit quicker, old man?
Come. You'll get what you're due soon enough.
Vasilisa. We've been through fire together to end up here.
Wait a little bit. This feast will get pretty fiery soon.
Fetka, how are you doing after that night?
I don't quite remember what happened, Vasia. I only know one thing. If it wasn't for you, the feast would have been my last. I won't forget it.
It turns out you're like a mother to everyone here.
Everything is quiet at the moment. There are no Kolduns around except for you and old Igor. I'm keeping my eyes open. If I notice any chorts, I'll tell you.
Chorts? Regular people don't see them.
Wrong. Anyone can see a chort today. Have you heard about the carts with no horses? Who moves them if not chorts?
Well, I know that chorts spin the grindstones.
Uh-huh. And who's pushing a cart if there are no cattle? Chorts! Who else? And then there's another thing. The locomotive, for instance. Oh! And have you heard about Peligraph? Recently in Solikamsk, the Peligraph chorts made such a ruckus. The peasants pulled down Peligraph. It's a sort of nobility that they have a the graph. They got Pele the Graph.
I've heard something about Pele the Graph.
Be on the lookout. Pele the Graph himself may show up.
If there's any cursed wool in the bride's way, it will bring bad luck. If it's bear wool, the procession might not be able to pass at all. You inspect the floor, but you don't notice any cursed artifacts.
So that's how life turns out to be. For so many years, I've been raising a log, and my daughter was suffering from demons. Oh, Jesus Christ. How did it happen? Forgive me, Lord.
Your child wasn't growing, so why didn't you visit a nowhere?
I called a doctor, and he said that it's a kind of a scientific disease.
All diseases come from demons. Why are you listening to doctors? Be glad that Nikolai got to us.
Oh, I don't even know how to thank you, Vasilisa Feodorovna. My daughter will do well with such a matchmaker.
Are you happy with the groom?
Oh, we couldn't hope for better. Practical, has served in the army. What more could you wish for?
Your daughter is an enviable bride.
I myself couldn't have brought her up better. Lord, forgive me, but how could you say that she grew up with demons? No one would believe it. And such a dowry. Even I got a belt, just like my daughter's. I don't know who sent it, though.
How can you live with this friend of yours? I just don't get it.
He's all right. A funny guy. Anyway, I want to speak to you about something else. We need to guard this wedding. Notice anything?
Right, instead of Fetka. But no, everything seems proper.
Keep your eyes open. Don't give any curse a chance to settle.
Have you sensed anything wrong?
The horses were reluctant to go when the procession was leaving the gates. I whispered a bit, and it sort of improved. But these things don't happen without reason. Why don't you have a look? Maybe with your powers of sorcery, you'll be able to find something.
I don't think any Kolduns will show up. They're scared of you. Have been for a long time now.
Could be. So we won't sound the alarm yet, right? Besides, what's a good wedding without a Koldun duel? There was this event in my youth. I was the best man and guarded the wedding. A disgruntled Koldun showed up. They hadn't invited him, you see? So I gave him a good cursing. He was sick for an entire week after that. But you should look for a curse anyway. We don't want you to be sick.
Did you teach our accordion player any words?
I did, and he whispered them correctly.
I hope he doesn't mix anything up.
What could he possibly mix up? I'll look after him.
Talk to you later, Grandpa. I'll have a look around.
Remember how I taught you to spoil weddings?
Of course I do.
Well, try to find some wool or bean sprouts. You need to dispose of them if some chort left them behind.
All right, Grandpa.
If there's any cursed wool in the bride's way, it will bring bad luck. If it's bare wool, the procession might not be able to pass at all. You inspect the floor, but you don't notice any cursed artifacts. You may go on your way. It turns out the room is noisy because several men decided to kill some time by playing cards. They are so immersed in the game that they fail to notice you.
Hardly anyone visits this part of the house.
What are you doing here? This is no place for a girl.
Hey, wait! What are you blabbering about? Come in, Vasilisa. Welcome. Long time no see, right? Shh. She's a witch. I know her. Shut your mouth. She'll curse you.
God helps. Samson, you're working on the Zemskaya station, right?
Well, welcome. Be our guest.
Silence, you fool! That's right. From the Urolka station. What are the chances? The bride's parents are old acquaintances of mine.
And I turned out to be a matchmaker. Do you play cards?
Yes, madam. Would you like to join?
So, are you familiar with the bride's parents?
Her father, when he was still alive, traded salt. He would often visit our region. I told him lots of made-up stories, but he told me a true story. About, his daughter.
I've heard that those who play cards at a wedding will be dragged to hell by demons exactly a month later.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
One of the card players runs away from the table in horror.
What are you scaring us for, Vasya?
Who knows? Maybe I'm not joking.
The card players exchange looks in confusion. You may go on your way. You look into the pantry near the haystacks and see a ruffled silhouette of a Susietko. He seems to be deep in his thoughts, and he doesn't notice you.
Greetings, Susietko, kind host.
Oh my, you scared me. Witch, I get rid of you this very instant.
Wait, I'm the matchmaker. I'm helping the wedding, not spoiling it.
Ah, I see. I thought you won on the cursing sword. I failed to notice in time. I think I saw something the other day, but it wasn't quick enough. The shadow escaped.
I thought that there was no Susietka here, and that the changeling lock drove you away.
Oh, that was the case. The changeling was strong, so I escaped to my relatives. It was only recently that I could come back.
Are you happy with the bride?
Oh, I am. I feel bad though, as I couldn't keep her away from the curse. I don't have much power in the banya.
Whom did you see? Tell me in details.
The man was rummaging around the haystacks.
I searched the yard, but I couldn't find anything cursed.
So he hid it well. And no, I could tell straight away. He had a frog and a smart face, not like yours, a typical village face.
Wait, a frog? So he was a merchant.
Devil knows. He could play tricks on my eyes better than you. He sneaked up to me and grabbed me by my fur. But that's all right. I had seen enough by then. Take a look in the morning. You'll find it.
The Susiedka advises you to look in the lining of the chest with the bed sheets, which are to be brought into the house of the groom.
I need to go, kind Susietka host.
Very well. See you soon. See you soon.
Finally, after the prolonged greetings of the foreign guests, the ritual of drinking to the bride begins. The bride brings wine to everyone, and the guests sit in the traditional order. A dinner is served that consists of many dishes: jellied minced meat, meat soup, fish pie, and calf's head. These are only a tiny portion of all the dishes served. The whole week before the wedding, the bridesmaids and the bride were preparing wailings of grief. Now it's time for songs of praise and glory. Before continuing the feast, you decide to stretch your legs and walk into a decorated room.
And she has the blackest book. And her eyes. A true Satan. She looked at me and I sort of froze. She wanted to set her short on me. But then I told her, I'll hit you so hard.
What did you tell me?
Ah, sweet mother. Oh, Jesus.
It's me who's going to hit you hard. Or should I send my chort on you?
Oh, Vasya, don't curse him. He was a fool. Don't be strict with him. He used to tease me too when I was with Proshka. I know that you're good. You should be called a witch doctor.
Akulina, was it you who I cured of Ikota?
It was me, Vasilisa. Thank you, mistress.
This chort has no business sitting as an Ikota. Proshka is doing good now. He's traveling with me.
So, he's helping you. Who knew it would turn out so well? This is my friend, Pyotr. He's very good with his flute.
Well, it is what it is.
If you tell any more stories like that about me, you won't have any limbs to hold that flute. Got it?
Got it.
So, how are you doing without Proshka?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. The chort doesn't speak from inside me in a scary voice, and the other children don't make fun of me anymore. Thank you, Vasya.
How's your patrol doing? Noticed any more Khaldoons?
Everything's quiet. I'm on the lookout.
Do you like the wedding?
Oh, it's pretty, and the songs, and everyone is dressed so nicely.
That's rubbish. But Nikolai's uniform looks great. I bet he has a gun at home.
Oh, when I grow up, I'll cry my eyes out, and then I'll live happily.
The neighbors of this tall carpenter are lying face down on their plates, snoring peacefully.
Do you think I bored them with my talking? Oh no, that's not the case. In all of Perm Gubernia, there's no man more dashing than me. Well, if it's about carpentry or drinking. Anyway, in all the rest, I'm afraid I'm not that good.
So your axe feeds you?
Yeah, I recently put a blockhouse in Anbor. I'm often hired in this Uyest. If only I was paid as well as I should. I can build whatever you can think of. A boat or a church. My tool is always with me. My loyal axe here.
So no one can beat you at drinking.
I can drink 5 bottles of vodka right now, believe it or not.
With a Zagavar, you use an herb and offer a bet.
Why not?
1 cup after another, and you don't feel a thing. The carpenter soon gives up and falls beside his neighbors. You take your winnings.
Vasilisa Fyodorovna, God be with you. I know I didn't believe you outright, but I was wrong. Oh, thank you, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I don't know how to thank you. Take some sour cream from our cow. Oh, it was a lucky day when we met you. Oh, Vasilisa, the bride told us about you.
Such a man she got herself, right?
Hush! Do you want to curse her?
Me? I can't curse. Here, Vasya will prove me right, right? But what a man, a soldier. Maybe I should get dragged away by chorts?
Thank you for helping me. I understand that you got this friend quite suddenly.
That's all right. She's a fine girl. Feel like we've known her all these years.
It's a pity she didn't show up earlier.
Aren't you afraid that the bride used to be a changeling?
What's there to be scared about? She's ordinary now.
Things happen in life. It wasn't her decision to become a demon. Such was her fate.
The only one to blame here is her mother.
Oh, she's also suffered her fill with the changeling. God is forgiving.
The feast is not yet over, but it will not continue on without your approval. The feast continues, and each of the guests is honored with a song of glorification. After each song, it is customary to thank the singers with some money. Your turn comes. The song begins, "Ty kняжна наша Svashenka." When the sound of the choir dies down, a girl with a tray approaches you. The eyes of the performers grow wide with surprise. Your generosity is momentarily praised in a song. At the end of the feast, a ritual dish is served. Selyanka, a large baked pudding with eggs. Nikolai deftly cuts a piece of pie and gifts his mother-in-law the customary coins. The feast will go on until morning, but old Yegor convinces you that tomorrow is the most important day. The traveling of the wedding procession to the wedding ceremony. You go home to have a little rest before dawn.
God bless, Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I came for you, Vasilisa. I'll get you to Pakcha. And you, Yegor Yevlampovich, will get to Vilgard. Get ready. I'll wait for you at the gates.
You reach the bride's izba with the light of dawn. The changeling girl sits under the icons and starts a long ritual of saying farewell to the maidenly headband. The bridesmaids chant, Uzhyasyaduka Maladyoshenka. The bride hands out red satin ribbons to everyone. The bride gives the prettiest one to you. The ritual drags on, and the guests have yet to arrive. The sounds of the last wailings quiet down close to the evening. The bridesmaids begin dressing the bride in the wedding gown, and you decide to look once more for cursed items in the yard while waiting for the guests. You go down into the yard. It looks empty and grim without wedding guests. Not surprising. This roof was home to an evil spirit for many years. You jump from a sudden rustling. You think you heard it coming from one of the haystacks, but which one? There was some noise coming from this haystack. Or was it that haystack? Two dark figures emerge from the shadows.
Aha! We've caught a witch!
Oh, it's Vasilisa.
This isn't a fairy tale. What if I took you for an evil spirit?
Sorry, Vasya. We were trying to ambush an evil Khaldun, not you.
Someone has been here for sure. We've been watching all night and saw it. He sneaked in and planted an Ikota on the wedding.
Oh, Christ in heaven! Not an Ikota!
It's alright. I'll protect you. Khalduns have no business cursing weddings.
What Khaldun did you see?
He sneaked in at night. Satan himself, I swear by God.
The gates opened by themselves, and the Arden seals were flying around.
It means Chorts were moving it.
And he himself didn't look like a Khaldun. He was dressed as a townsperson.
He started to whisper. It was so fast and so frightening. It was so dark, we almost couldn't see anything.
She likely won't find it by herself.
Stop whistling.
This flute must be good against the Khalduns.
So he ran, and we decided to change our hiding spot in case he'd be back. And you came.
What did that Khaldun do?
He whispered a lot and did something with his hands.
I think he was scattering cursed items.
We'll help you find them, Vasya.
She likely won't find it by herself.
All right, if you want to help, go right ahead. Petka, look in this haystack for a peapod with 9 peas. You, Akulina, look in that haystack, and I'll search the yard. All clear?
Clear. He likely won't find it without us.
All right, Vasilisa.
Found any pods? Or anything suspicious?
Oh, not yet. I definitely will, Vasilisa. Wait a bit.
Well, have you found anything?
Hold your horses. I'm still looking.
Beer. Leftovers from yesterday. It's flat now. Smells kinda disgusting.
The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of the groom once you go to the Izba. You cut into the lining and, to your horror, find something furry inside. You find a dried bear paw that emanates dark sorcery. You hide this new artifact in your bag, as if against your will. The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of the groom once you go to the Izba. You closely inspect the floor. To your horror, you find a patch of burned dog hair. You remove it with a zagavar and throw it away in disgust. Petka suddenly calls out to you.
Vasya! Vasya! I found it, I think!
I too found some traces of the curse. You and I both have some. That's a lot. What do you have, Akulina?
Huh?
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't have any.
I found some, Vasya. Also a pod.
Quite a few curses. A powerful Khaldun is involved here.
The children look at each other worrisomely.
Give me those pods. Who knows what else is our enemy capable of? A curse? Will he summon Chorts? A mortal threat.
You jump from the sudden knock at the gates. The children run inside the house, screaming. You open the gates before the surprised guests.
I don't have time for ransoms. Go get your bride upstairs. I need to speak to the Master of Ceremonies.
You seem alarmed, Vasilisa.
I found so many cursed things right now. Someone powerful is trying to curse this wedding.
You tell old Yegor about your discoveries.
You can stop the wedding now.
But why? Wait, I'll tell Nikolai.
Old Yegor forcefully grabs your arm.
Hold there. Do you want to spoil their wedding? If you stop the procession right now, their whole life could go sideways.
Yes, but what if we're stopped on our way down the aisle? No one knows how all these curses turn out.
That's your task, Matchmaker, to guard the procession against it. If it stops, then yes, only God knows what will happen. Don't bother the betrothed. Do your job, and I will do mine. We'll teach Fedьka some zagovors. He may learn something yet.
All right, Grandpa.
Let's go. We need to bless them on their way.
All the guests gather in the Izba. After the blessings of Nikolai and his bride, the procession departs to Vilgort, to the Church of the Trinity.
This girl sure is lucky, right?
Yes, few can return from another world. She wouldn't have done it by herself. We helped her. So is the case with the other dead. They can't get back by themselves.
So Kolya wouldn't pull her out without you, right?
Without me or Grandpa, unlikely.
You know, I've been thinking. In a way, you also pulled me out from the grave. If you didn't come that night to the pothouse, Shorts would have killed me.
Yes, I think that's how it happened.
I've heard what the girls in Vilgard have been saying, that you didn't want to become a witch. But you did become one, right? And so I've been thinking, you did it to help your betrothed.
Why would you think that?
You and your grandpa are taking me for a fool, but I see lots of things. The dead men can't go back by themselves, right? I visited lots of evening gatherings. I saw how much you loved him. So I think you decided. Vasya, stop this nonsense. Nothing good will come of it. You brought back that girl, but she never died. She was kidnapped, right? I was quite close to being dead, but she betrothed. Is dead. Buried.
Quit running your mouth. You don't understand anything.
Wait, don't be angry. I'm not joking. I came close to seeing the afterlife. There's no coming back from there.
Not so many.
What's next? Sooner or later, they'll get hungrier and hungrier and start dragging our souls to the grave. I've listened closely to many stories. Your church will also drag you to hell, along with who knows how many peasants.
Don't judge Khaldoons by the old wives' tales. I'm keeping my chorts in check. You're saying my chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate. And you don't know his fate.
That's right. I don't. But I decided to make my own fate. You have your fate. You heard the Troika, so that's your fate. Maybe it wasn't a trick, but I have it differently. You remember how I stole from the shop? It wasn't the first time. I've done lots of similar things. I think maybe I should quit this kind of life. Start a household. I know it's not as fun or exciting. You saved me, so I wanted to ask your advice. You were nowhere after all. What do you think?
Well, Fedьka, I've always told you to abandon your life of pleasure.
All right, I'll try. Old habits die hard. Next thing you'll know, I have my own household.
You better remember these words of yours.
I will. I'm I'm not old enough to have a bad memory.
Fedka grins and flings the reins. Pakcha village is surrounded by mist, and the road to Vilgert lies ahead of you. You think that if someone wanted this wedding ruined, he wouldn't be stopped this easily. You look around anxiously and prepare for the worst. The winding path lures you in with a damp mist and mysterious shadows. What spirits hide behind them? Soon, you get to Cold Creek Ford. Yours and the bride's carts cross the water with a splash, but the third cart isn't so lucky. One of the wheels hits a stone, and all its passengers fall overboard. You look around and notice demon eyes in the dark. Fedka gives you a questioning look. What should you do with the rest of the guests? You hop off the cart and open the black book. Fedka passes the reins and hops off too. You need to depart as soon as possible so as not to fall behind the wedding procession. The musician tries to help fix the cart, but you have something else to deal with. A swarm of chorts flies out of the darkness. The cart is finally fixed, and you quickly catch up to the procession. The peasants didn't see the chorts, but they noticed you whispering Zagavers. Now they are looking at you and your book with respect. The wedding train reaches the shadows of the gloomy trees of the Crooked Forest. Strange sounds escape the evening darkness. It appears the mysterious Khaldun cursed this road as well. Your suspicions prove correct. Although you have known this forest since you were a child, the road meets a fork that you have no memory of. Looks like the turn on the right is used more often than the one to the left. You don't recognize the last fork either. The road to the left looks like it's submerged in darkness, and you see some moonlight above the road to the right. You arrive at another fork. The road to the left lies through a thick forest, and to the right you see a clearing amongst the trees. Finally, the forest is behind you. Vilgert is close, so you decide to take a break. Mikhail's crossroads look unfamiliar. You feel as if you have entirely lost your sense of direction. You can't tell north from south. It's as if you are standing at this crossroads for the first time. You decide to resort to sorcery. You quickly whisper the words of the Zagaver and listen. Looks like you picked the wrong turn. You make the wrong turn and spend some time winding the village roads, but finally get back on the right track. Looks like this is the last piece of road to Vilgard.
Vasilisa, stop the procession!
Alexander, we can't. It's a bad omen.
I suppose I can hide it now. No time to argue. I intend to curse your wedding procession, and I'm willing to see it through.
What? Are you telling me that everything you do is based on science?
I can leave it be, but only if you give me the book.
But why do you need to ruin the wedding?
It's simple. I can take this artifact only if you're sufficiently weakened.
If the procession stops, the curse may splash out. Only God knows what should happen then.
Right. You're only saying this so I wouldn't interfere. No such thing will happen.
Listen to me. This is dangerous. Very dangerous.
You can't scare me, Vasilisa. Either give me the book, or the procession stops.
So that's how it is in your world. Always playing pretend. You could have helped me with the snake that time.
I wanted to, but you were doing fine on your own, and I wanted to see what kind of witch you were. I did. I think you're as powerful as me. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just need the book.
You know about this? What do you need it for? What are you planning?
Don't stall, Vasilisa. Fight me.
I can't give you the book, you know that!
Then it's the only way. Défense-toi! Give me the book, Vasilisa, and the guests will be safe.
They have nothing to fear. I'll protect the wedding.
hurt you, Vasilisa. Not if I don't have to.
You've been lying like the devil himself, and now you want me to believe you?
Give me the book, Vasilisa, and the guests will be safe.
They have nothing to fear. I'll protect the wedding.
I don't want to hurt you, Vasilisa. Not if I don't have to.
You've been lying like the devil himself, and now you want me to believe you?
give up, or the entire wedding procession will be transformed.
Not if I stop you first.
Alexander's driver notices that his master is weakened and strikes the horses. The carriage drives away. With horror, you realize that his last Zagavers weren't directed at you, but at the procession. The horses lose their footing, and the first carts overturn with a terrible crash. The world around you turns into a cacophony of screams, both animal and human. Alexander's curse hits the weakened wedding procession and slices through it. Some of the wedding guests turn into wolves and run into the forest. Others have lost consciousness or are injured from the crash. You notice old Yegor and run towards him. Several Zagavers later, and your mentor comes to his senses.
Grandpa! Grandpa, you're alive?
Vasilisa! Oh, Jesus, my head hurts.
Wait, I'll whisper a bit.
No time. What's happened to the procession? Was it cursed after all?
Yes, many of the guests were turned to wolves.
So they were. I wasn't seeing straight. I saw how Fedjka was turning.
I'll get that, Alexander. Oh, but what should we do now?
Shush, don't whine. There's no time to think about that lad now. First, we fix the wedding. That's all right. You'll catch the wolves and heal them. Next thing you know, the seal will be broken.
How will I find them? Even my chorts may not be able to find the cursed.
We'll find them. I have this old friend of mine, a hunter. He will track them. Find out who's missing and fix up the wounded. Then we'll get ready for the road.
How did they turn into wolves? No one has heard of such thing for 100 years or more.
Well, your friend there cast a strong curse, and then you were right. Fedьka is not very knowledgeable for a best man.
How do I lift the curse?
You need special herb, Cuckoo's Tears. It grows deep in the forest, in the Leshy's domain. I think this hunter of mine will give you a hand with the herb as well.
So Fedьka turned also?
Yes, there is his accordion. At first I thought I was seeing things.
What do we do with the bride and groom now?
They'll manage. I'll teach them a couple of secret prayers.
Who's that friend of yours?
Just a hunter. I'll tell you at home.
Your friend, the Ikotnitsa, is lying here. Akulina has lost consciousness. It seems the girl is hurt. Akulina comes to her senses and with difficulty stands on her feet.
Oh, Vasya, have you healed me?
Akulina, you're alive. Oh Lord, oh Jesus.
She's going to be all right now. Akulina, have you noticed where the wolves went?
I haven't. I don't remember anything since I fell. I can't see Piotr anywhere. He must have been turned too.
Your mother will bring you home. Rest there.
All right, Vasya.
Thank you, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I'll pray for you.
Did you notice where the wolves ran?
Somewhere in the direction of Pakcha. They hid in the forest straight away. I barely had any time to look. I only noticed that several of the bridesmaids turned. The horror! I've heard of such things, but never thought we'd witness it.
Vasilisa, my head is dizzy. Where is Nikolai?
I can't see him. Listen.
He's also been transformed. Oh, I seem to be destined to go return to evil spirits.
Don't lose hope. I'll go after him and the rest of the guests. I know I failed at protecting the wedding, but I'll try to fix it.
Looks like you were right about Fedьka. I should have listened to you.
He's not the one who ruined the wedding. That was another Khaldun. That's all right. I'll deal with him. As soon as I get Nikolai back, you'll make it to the church. I'll set your life straight.
I hope that God will help you, Vasilisa.
Ready to go back. You can barely stand upright. Vasilisa, get up. It's morning already. We need to hurry while the wolf tracks are still fresh. I told you yesterday about my friend, the hunter. He is a master of his craft. He can track any beast.
These aren't exactly beasts.
And the hunters aren't exactly simple folk. They're knowers of their own sort. Some are friends with the Leshy, others know Zagavars. This one is called Airat, a smart man. Lives near Cherting.
You think he'll help me?
He will. When you meet him, tell him I sent you. We had a deal. I give him the stuff, and he owes me one.
How do I find the guests?
You and Airat will follow the tracks.
I also need to talk to Alexander.
No point. He must have fled. If I were him, I would stay away from you.
And leave him unpunished? Just give me a couple of seconds. I'll let him swell so much he won't fit into a cart.
You want to find him? So be it. Ask around in Alyoshkina village. The talk is that his family's from there. I found this out during my last visit there.
The moment we took on the next seal, the wolves showed up, as if the devil himself arranged it.
I don't know. If anyone helps us, it must be some power from above. Satan can only spoil things, and forces of light wouldn't curse a wedding. Mysterious are his ways. Who knows? Who knows?
You think I can break the curse with the wedding guests?
Only you can find it out.
Where can I find your friend?
Ayrat lives close to Cherding. You'll learn about him in the town, in the hunting shop there. It's summer now, so he shouldn't be wandering in the woods. To cure the wolves, look for a cuckoo's tears herb. You should find it in the forest. Some herbalists may also have it. Have a look in the town market. And above all, don't forget the seal.
All right, Grandpa.
Yesterday, a shepherd was looking after our cattle, and a pack of wolves jumped him. Scared halfway to death he was. They wanted to kill him along with the animals, but he threw his accordion at them. He wants to be a musician, and a wolf tore at it instead. The man ran as fast as he could. He barely made it.
I think I can deal with that pack.
Then there is this strange thing. One of the wolves, our shepherd has a sharp eye, was wearing a jacket. Holy Mother, Lord Jesus!
All right, I'll help.
Oh, thank you, mistress. I won't forget it.
Half the village has gathered in front of yesterday's bride. The peasants are violently knocking on the gates. Looks like you've come just in time. The situation is getting hotter with every minute.
Come out, Agafia! Bring out your girl, that cursed witch!
I'll beat her so hard she'll bring our kin back right away. I heard it's a potent remedy.
Why have you gathered here? It's late. Go back to your homes.
Who are you, girl?
She's a witch from Vilgard. Don't expect kindness from her.
Well, let's beat her first. That'll probably remove the curse from the wedding guests.
Stop! There are no guilty people here. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Never trust a witch. That's what my pa used to say.
It seems that the peasants are hostile. How can I convince them otherwise? You want to beat me? I alone can help you. And the bride? You think she wanted to curse her own groom? She wanted to get married as soon as possible. Why would she hurt her guests? She didn't transform the procession. Some man did it. Many people saw it. Ask those who weren't turned.
All right. We believe you this time. But you better bring back my son.
I'm going to lift the curse. Soon everyone will be at home.
After discussing your arguments, the peasants disperse. One old lady even blesses you and gives you some milk. The bride opens the gates and thanks you for your help. While hurrying to Vilgard, you walk onto the main road and see a dark whirlwind coming your way. In a moment, you realize it to be a short swarm and open the black book. The last Chort disappears into black flames. You can only wonder who set this swarm upon you. You carefully move along the silent street, looking at the carved windows of the rich houses. Suddenly, you hear two muffled voices coming from the town's cemetery.
At least I remember you, right, Ilya?
When will you stop already, you spawn of the devil? What if the left one and the right one pop up? What then, huh?
Well, they surely won't. They've forgotten about you. I've asked around, you know.
Damn. I wish I couldn't see you for a century or so.
That's what I'm talking about. Precisely a century is almost up. And we've been doing so well together, I didn't even touch you. Wait! I smell something.
You decide to stay and listen to the end of the conversation.
You didn't give me quarter, though, did you? I told you. Count the dust, the pine leaves. And you? It's all about cursing someone for you.
And how would you curse weddings without me, huh?
Yeah, those were the days. I stopped processions, all right, and transformed wedding guests. Only I'm going to hell for this.
I saved you from the inferno, didn't I? Just lie here quietly in your grave. Later with that, I smell something foul. A live one. Look, a witch is eavesdropping on us.
Well, we'll scrug her now, won't we?
There's a winding trail that leads through the gloomy woods to the place where cattle graze. For some reason, people call it a road. You cautiously look around and suddenly hear muted growling from the shadows. Could it be your imagination? You step inside the inky shadows and look around. It's silent, and only the branches whisper something to the cold wind. The bank is wrapped in a slippery fog. You look into the milky veil, expecting to see running wolf shadows, but notice only the swirls of the slippery haze. After looking around, you notice some wolf tracks on the sand, and a torn-up shepherd's accordion. This instrument obviously went through the paws of some wild beast. Its body is scratched with claws, and the bellows are torn to shreds. In the grills of the instrument, you find a broken wolf tooth. The tracks are leading east and are lost in the forest fog. You follow them for some time, but you finally lose them, along with your sense of direction. Suddenly, you're injured by a sharp branch that came out of nowhere. There's a drop near the road. It's notorious for the stories told of it. They say two bandits killed each other here in a dispute over money. They were both buried here. They say the reason for their fight is still at the bottom of this ravine. It smells of rot and graveyard dampness at the bottom. You find 3 old graves here. You whisper a prayer and catch your breath. Even the bandits deserve peace. Even after sunset, the town is boiling with activity. The shops and stalls are open. Your eyes are dragged towards high stone domes and merchant houses almost against your will. You soon find a hunting shop old Yegor was telling you about.
The wisdom that lies upon dark pages is not that of madness. You cannot paint me as a liar.
Looks like the shop is closed.
Low prices, come and see for yourself. Buy some herbs and other goods I've brought for you from the woods.
By the Churton Daily comes with a calendar. The state councillor publishes the paper but doesn't let it out. I've gotten hold of some on your behalf and I'll sell one to you for less than a half.
What's the Churton Daily?
The latest news from across the West. It's cheap. Buy one. I might not be here tomorrow. Buy it now. You won't get any poorer.
Mr. Fairbanks? I need to question you about one of your buyers.
I don't care what you need.
A hunter had to buy supplies from you. His name is Irad.
A peasant girl doesn't belong here. Phoo, phoo.
You hold out a handful of coins. Looks like the merchant is ready to help you now. It's a pity he hasn't become less arrogant.
All right. I'll tell you about your hunter, but leave me alone. Irad lives on the edge of Cherdin in the east. I haven't seen him in my shop for a long time. I don't know why you would need him, and I don't care. I think he's finished hunting. Well, don't just stand here in front of the shop. You've learned what you need, so go.
A couple of tiny chorts are sitting on the drunkard's left shoulder, perhaps they're to blame for his present state. This puny thing isn't worth a Zagavr. The moment you touch your book, the demons disappear, muttering angrily. The peasant, it seems, has started to breathe more steadily. The players are carried away by a game of Durak.
We didn't see you at Mr. Nikolsky's house yesterday. Did something happen?
Oh, right. The Dvorovoys have lost the key, and I was left without a dress at the last possible moment. I couldn't afford to show up like some kind of unkempt peasant girl now, could I? What are you looking at, girl? By whose orders are you here?
I accidentally overheard your conversation. I can help. Even if the key is lost, there's a popular remedy. I can give the right herb to those Cherdon women. What was that herb that opened locks? Here, press this break herb onto the lock and it will open.
Open the lock with an herb? Are you jesting?
Wait, an Elwer helped my servants one time. He also used a herb. Surprisingly, it helped. Everything is possible nowadays. Have you heard how the spiritual sense of Mr. S went?
Yes, really. Thank you for your help. I've heard of the potential of folk remedies, but I wouldn't think it would be applicable to locks. Here, buy yourself a pryanik.
I need to ask Mr. Fairbanks something, but he won't listen to me.
Wait, I'll deal with it.
The townswoman approaches the hunting shop with you, and after an exchange of pleasantries, she asks the merchant to help you. He reluctantly agrees.
Well, don't just stand here in front of the shop. You've learned what you need, so go.
The welcoming light of the Hunter's Lodge is lost among the gloomy outline of pines at the forest's edge. The trees look like stern guardians, standing watch over the grim secrets of the forest. The host is standing near the house.
God bless.
Salam. Who are you?
I'm a granddaughter of Igor Churov, a knower from Vilgard.
Vasilisa. Long time no see. I remember when you were this tall. Well, what brings you here?
Grandpa told me you've known each other for a long time. So you know me as well.
I saw you when I visited Igor. You were little then. They didn't call him old Igor then.
Did he help you?
He did. But all was not well. It's a long story.
I came for help. I need to go to the forest, track the wolves.
The wolves, you say?
You tell him about the events of the wedding.
It so happens that I know. I'll help you. I've known Shuralev for a long time. I'll guide you through the forest.
You think the Liashe is to blame? But how will we find the wolves?
We will, Alabirga, we will. The wolves are gathering in the pack. They'll need a leader. The tracks are leading to Pelud, so we'll go there. I was thinking, where did so many wolves come from? It turns out it's your doing.
This man is to blame, Alexander.
I hear, but he failed to protect. Now your wolves are running amok. They wounded my falcon. They could start attacking people. We need to hurry.
You're hunting with a falcon? I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it's a rare skill. So what now? The curse is passed on to him, but the bite is a weak one.
Let me have a look at your bird.
The wound has almost closed, but the falcon looks bad. You feel the traces of the curse on the wound.
The falcon needs a herb, but which one would be good for a curse? I don't think we can manage without this herb. You need Putter's Cross. I think we can find it nearby.
You search the closest glades, and soon find the herb you seek. Several Zagavers, and the falcon is cured.
Thank Allah. Thank you, Vasilisa. Igor didn't study you in vain. Take it. I know the feather will be useful in a sorcery.
We need to hurry. They could scatter, and then we won't be able to find them.
It seems some of them are going towards the hunter. Be careful.
Several wolf-like figures emerge from the forest. The beasts do not waste any time for their attack. The wounded beasts retreat with fangs bared. With the help of a few old Zagavers, one of the attackers turns into a human. The rest of the beasts, who were ordinary wolves, hide in the forest. You feel the power that fills the Black Book. The seal is still intact, but you're on the right path.
Allah, it's true. He turned back.
What's going on? Have you drank too much?
I wish that were the case. You had a curse on you. Now you're safe. Go home.
Good. Thank you, Vasilisa.
We saved one. How many are left?
Yes, we need to stock up on herbs to break the curse.
You can find the herbs all over the forest. Let's rest a bit and get going. Follow me. I have a samovar ready.
What a cozy izba.
Hush, Proshka. You'll scare the hunter.
He won't hear anything. Not unless I want to. If I'm dealing with a regular human, he won't know a thing that I'm saying. He thinks I'm purring. Ha! Don't worry. We'll catch your friends soon enough. And put them on a nice strong chain.
It's not funny. What if they've already tried some wolf food?
Then all the better reason for the chain.
Proshka.
It's better to go in the dark. We may not be able to find werewolves during the daytime.
Did Grandpa help you in the past?
There was this incident with Shorade, but I wasn't able to give this chart his due. Maybe it's for the better that you showed up. With the Nowhere, we'll be able to track the Leshy.
I need a magic herb. Do you know where they can grow?
To the east of Kolva, all the forests are old, all with masters. That means you'll find your herb there.
How will we search for wedding guests?
We'll follow their tracks. A la Berga, we'll track down every one of them. Looks like they went to Pollute Stone. We'll find them there.
Several steps over old moss are enough for the constant murmur of fir branches to cover you entirely. Before you, you see the rotting wooden frames of an abandoned village. You think to yourself, is this the fate of everything on this earth? A circle made of meadow flowers is in the middle of the village. Accompanied by a cold wind, the old secrets the grim fir branches speak of causes the white petals of cuckoo's tears to shiver with fear. You whisper the secret words and pick the herbs that grow here. But will it be enough for all the cursed? In the corners of the abandoned rooms, you see stoves like stone dead men. You peek into one izba and then into another. The village is abandoned by people and spirits alike. On the road, you see a wooden whistle. It belongs to Petka. It looks like you're on the right path. Ayrat notices a wolf footprint among the rotten boards and impassable nettle. He says a lot of beasts have come through here recently. The path leads to the east. You also see some pieces of cloth. These are the cursed wolves. Ayrat leads you along the wolf tracks. Sometimes he lets his falcon fly, and it seems to help him stay on the right path. The moss under your feet grumbles with every step. Shadows peer out from among the gloomy pines. Or could it be you're just seeing invisible spirits among the rustling branches? The hunter looks around intensely and proposes to continue the journey. He makes hints about the Leshy and spits. After making mention of this spirit, your guide starts to nervously look around at the surrounding darkness. In the trembling light of the dying fire, you see a fisherman fighting a wolf pack. He tries to get away on a boat, fighting the beasts with his oar. The rest of the wolves scatter. Looks like there were no werewolves among them. The grateful fisherman gives you all his money and his evening catch. After that, he crosses himself and bows to Palyut. He assumes it was him who brought you. A gloomy river has slowly filled this glade, turning it into a rotting sore. You notice a black figure that jumps from hillock to hillock, all along the way, twitching in a strange manner. Your blood runs cold. Greedy swamp sludge grabs onto you when you try to catch up to the strange shadow. It's a werewolf. You call out to the wolf, but he only glances at you before disappearing into the trees. One more step. You're very close, but a strange half-wolf chort appears with his retinue from the thicket. Shaggy fir trees are hugging a roughly built house as if they are trying to close up a wound on the mossy bed of the forest. This izba is usually empty in the summer, but Ayrat notices human footprints leading to the ravine. You are able to find some cuckoo's tears flowers and pick them while reading Zagavers. Hunters often store supplies in case of a rainy day. Likewise, in this izba, you find a bark box with canned goods. The tracks lead to a foggy ravine and disappear near its edge. You stop in hesitation. Are they worth following? Hunters often store supplies in case of a rainy day. Likewise, in this... A slimy fog flows at the bottom of this ravine. First, you hear hissing, and then a man emerges from the dark. Living snakes slither up and down his staff. He's dragging a whining wolf with red eyes on a chain.
God helps.
God helps. Let the wolf go. It's no ordinary beast.
I'm not playing games with you, girl. I can see that you are a knower yourself. These werewolves is my prey. So if you want to leave here alive, don't stand in my way.
Listen, give me this werewolf and I will lift his curse. Why do you want him anyway?
Lift the curse. So what? As soon as he entered my ravine, I saw by his eyes that he was a werewolf. I'll lift the curse myself as soon as we get to the village. And his relatives will reward me for that. And if I make him human now, I'll have to watch over him. If he's on a chain like this, he'll run there by himself.
So you want a reward? Will you accept it from my hands?
Why not? I have the herbs I need right here. Do you have rubbles?
Be it as you wish. Give me the chain.
The Khaldun tosses you the chain and the magic herb, after which he disappears into the fog. You lift the curse from the werewolf and feel the fourth seal cracking. You're on the right track.
Vasilisa, what happened? Where are we?
You were turned into a wolf, and then a snake Khaldun nearly took you.
You tell the girl about the recent events and help her get to the road leading to Pakcha. After that, you continue along your way. The closer you are to Palyut, the grimmer the hunter becomes. This is also reflected in the falcon. The bird becomes weaker, as if its malady is returning. The wolf path leads you to the naked bones of the Palyut stone. Ayrat points to the mountain. The werewolves went in that direction. He stops mid-sentence. You see two creatures between the trees. You can't make them out clearly in the dark. A wolf and a man. A tall man walks between the opening branches. A beast following him obediently turns out to be only a cub. You can make out leftover human clothes. It is a boy that you know, Petka. If he dies in wolf form, he will also die as a human. You can't afford to miss your mark. The man strides on, and you try to follow him. It seems for a moment the werewolf recognizes you, but after the stranger's touch, his eyes become those of a beast again.
Wait, isn't that cursed Petka?
God helps. Who are you?
The man looks at you sullenly and doesn't say a word. You don't feel the presence of demons, and he doesn't look like a Leshy.
Let the wolf cub go. It's not a beast. You hear me?
The man doesn't pay you any attention and walks on.
Petka, it's me, Vasilisa. Remember?
The cub looks at you, but doesn't recognize you. There's nothing human in his eyes.
Maybe I can remind Petka that he's not a wolf. Look what I found, Petka. Don't you want to banish some Khalduns?
The cub runs to you sheepishly. The stranger watches Petka with gloomy eyes, but doesn't try to stop him. You leave the stranger alone. He's about to disappear into the trees, but Ayrat blocks his way. The stranger raises his furry fists and gets ready for a fight. When you feel that you've won the battle, the stranger runs away towards Palyud with inhuman speed. He leaves the wolf cub behind.
Ah, damn, he escaped.
What are you doing? Why did you attack the man?
I had to make sure it wasn't Aleshi. I had to make sure it wasn't Aleshi. It turned out to be just that.
Doesn't look like it. But even if it were the case, attacking Aleshi in the forest? Are you crazy?
I have my own score to settle with him. Let's camp here. We need to catch her breath.
The Bashkir frowns and starts to make a fire. All that's left for you is to deal with Petka. The Bashkir frowns and starts to make a fire. All that's left for you is to deal with Petka. You approach the werewolf boy. His eyes are silently begging you for help. You perform the ritual, and the wolf cub turns into Petka. The boy loses consciousness. You lay him in your camp and catch your breath.
We're getting close. I say this with all my divinating Susietka authority.
Can you divine anything else?
Nah, I've always been bad at foretelling. Who is? The other Susietkas are also guessing, and they usually are the mark. Don't worry, Vasya. We'll help you and yours. Still, you should stock up on Cuckoo's tears.
You weren't very surprised by the spirit.
It's not my first day in the forest. I've seen things.
So now we climb the mountain?
The werewolves are running to the pack leader, the master of this mountain. I know the way. I'll guide you. Rest now.
Who was that man? He doesn't look like a Chort.
This was Shurale from Palyud. Who else? I would recognize him in any form. Werewolves run towards him. If knowers of priests don't turn them back, they stay wild beasts for life. A person dear to me disappeared once, and old Yegor helped me to make a charter. The Leshi didn't give her back anyway. He took her for himself. He, by Palyud. That means it was him. He was afraid to show himself to me. Now we're going to track him down.
Was it long ago that old Yegor helped you?
Long ago. You were still little. When the charter didn't help, we went searching by ourselves. We found my wife, but it was too late.
Where are we? I can't remember. It's hard to speak. Seems unfamiliar.
Have you seen other wedding guests?
I can't remember. It's like it was all in a fog, as if they were running. Nikolai was there, beside me. We were back in here, as if called by someone. We ran as fast as we could. That's how we were separated. Then I met an old man. He took me. The others are still near. I still feel it.
Who was that man with you?
The old man. He was bringing me home. I was following him. I heard everything in the forest with them. We heard you too. A kind old man he was.
How do you feel?
I can't remember. I used to live in the village, not in the forest, right? How much time has passed? A lot?
The boy stares at the flames without blinking. It seems that he is lost in his thoughts. After several hours of rest, you go on your way. Among the forests, at the foot of Palyud, you almost forget that Cerdyn is somewhere near. This forest looks like it was born at the dawn of time. Your thoughts return to the wedding. Could you do something to prevent Alexander from doing this? Or was this all predetermined by fate? Evil spirits pull you out of your thoughts. You see their burning eyes among the trees. You stop, feeling witching forces near one of the old pines. You look up. Its branches reach to the skies, and it seems like they have no end, reaching to the top of the world. By the tree roots, you make out a trail of blood leading east. By the tree roots, you come closer to the tree. Its heavy branches hide you from the outer world. You feel that you have entered an ancient place of an alien power. You follow your witch's sense and study the old pine tree. Among the old roots, you find an ancient bronze figurine looking like a man with a moose head. You sense strong sorcery coming from this item. The hunter says the pack caught a mighty moose here. They dragged it somewhere to the east. The hunter says the pack caught a mighty moose here. They dragged it. You smell blood as moonlight shines over the wolves gorging themselves in a wild feast. Some of the beasts have red eyes. There's a werewolf in this pack, but it looks like he hasn't been allowed to the prey yet. The pack senses your smell and surrounds you in anticipation of defending their prey. You take a deep breath. You cannot kill the werewolf. When the frightened remnants of the wolf pack disappear behind the trees, you take a step towards the werewolf. You perform the ritual, and the wolf turns into a bridesmaid. As soon as you lift the curse, you feel the fourth seal cracking. You're on the right path.
Where am I? Everything is in a fog.
I came in time. If you had eaten anything, then...
You tell the girl what happened, and help her get to the path leading to Pakcha, after which you go on your way. Ayrat continues to lead you along the tracks. Soon, the path is surrounded by overhanging trees that look like church walls. In a couple of steps, your way is blocked by a wall of tangled branches. Ayrat frowns and pulls out his axe. You insist on finding another way, and the Bashkir reluctantly agrees. Before getting back on the path, you spend a lot of time and strength. You hear the gentle gurgling of a creek nearby, as well as the steady sighing of branches. You can feel evil spirits. Ahead, on a stone, a rusalka is combing her slimy hair.
Travelers, come closer. You can rest here after your long journey.
Don't try your black arts on us. We are Khalduns ourselves.
It seems that Ayrat has succumbed to sorcery. He steps towards the undead. You grab his sleeve and whisper a Zagaver. The sorcery vanishes. The Rusalka hisses in anger.
Why are you here, you Khalduns?
Wait! Don't be angry. We need to get to the top. We're not going to spoil your creek.
Yes, this is my creek, mine. You want to pass? Pledge a sacrifice to me. Then I'll let you pass. And tell you about the treasure. The other knower left it here, not far away.
What kind of sacrifice do you want?
I know churches ask you Khaldoons for jobs. Let one of them bring a man to me. As you can see, I only wish for some company.
Be it as you wish. I'll order my chort to bring someone.
You lie, witch! You can't lie to me near my creek. You yourself will become the sacrifice, as well as your friends.
You're not getting any more sacrifices, demon.
The creek greedily drinks the body of the drowner, which slowly vanishes. You cross over it. The mountain top is already close. Not far from the top of Palud, you find a glade, basking in the moonlight. It's close to the drop, opening to the forests around you. You feel you can find some healing herbs here.
I barely remember what happened before the forest grandpa took me. Where did we live, Vasilisa?
Oh, you're from Bakhcha, Petька.
He'll remember in time. I've seen it once before. A hunter was led astray by a Shurale, but that one didn't completely come to his senses. This one is still young. He will.
That's all right, Petька. We'll make you better. You'll remember.
I want to go home, Vasya. To my mother.
Are you ready to take on the Leshy?
I don't like any of this. Anything can happen. The Forest Master is not an easy foe.
I don't think you're ready. They ruined your wedding, and you let him sleep near the foot of the mountain. Why would this be any different? We cannot let him escape. I know what we should do. The Leshy draws his power from the forest. Palud Forest is strong, and the Leshy is strong also. We need to set the trees on fire. We will light one here, near the tops. Then Shurale will grow weak. Alabirga, he won't escape. Well, what do you think?
This plan you've thought up is a sin. This forest feeds you.
All right, you do as you like.
Vasya, I'm scared. When are we going back?
Stop whining. Be glad you're alive.
The boy bites on his lip and hides his tears behind the torn sleeve of his shirt.
Sheridan is somewhere out there. I can't make it out from here.
The trail leads to the very top. The iron smell doesn't bode well. You start to speed up, but notice a werewolf ahead of you and stop. His grinning face is missing a fang, and his eyes have almost no traces of humanity left. The werewolf closes the distance. It looks at you sullenly, measuring your power.
It will be difficult for me to reach the human inside. How do I address him? Fedka, don't you remember me?
The werewolf steps slow down. You see the hesitation in its eyes. You seem to be on the right track.
What should I remind him of so he would want to crawl out of the wolf hide? What did he like doing in life? You won't get the chance to plow a field as a wolf. You'll never work again.
The wolf bares his teeth and attacks you. The beast collapses at your feet. It seems he's still breathing, but his strength is waning. After a moment, the wolf turns into Fedka, the accordion player. You feel the fourth seal starting to lose power.
Oh my lord. What's going on? Where am I?
The wedding was cursed. The groom and some other people were transformed. All will be well soon.
The wedding? Nikolai's? Oh, I must have drunk too much at the wedding feast the other evening.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were talking on the wagon.
Well, at least you still have your memory. Ah, you haven't eaten any wolf food. I made it in time.
Lord, help me. Where are we? Did I hit my head or something?
Wait, Fyodor. We'll talk later. Look after him while I take care of some other business. Don't follow me. It's dangerous out here.
Alright. I don't understand any of this.
I'll explain later.
Near the peak, you see the inky black mouth of a cave, standing in contrast to the ruthless wildfire around it. Ayrat is waiting for you by the entrance, looking thoughtfully into the darkness.
Shoralio won't get away from us. He'll have to answer for the wedding, as well as for my falcon, as well as for my family.
Are you insane? You're burning the same forest that feeds you.
Feeds me? Feeds me, you say? So what of it? What of my life? What of someone else's life? When he drags everyone who gets close to it into the abyss, I won't serve as cattle to be fattened up for the butcher. Look into the ravine. Do you see the darkness? Let all you priests go there with the candles. They won't make it go away. Do you think we can bargain with it? It won't make a sound. It's wild as a night, as the northern wind. What are we to it? Undergrowth, rot. You can't bargain with it. You can't take vengeance upon it.
Ayrat.
No! Would your wedding be cursed without this demon? Would your friends become wolves? I think not. It wanted it. It got it. And now, it's feeding on their souls. And laughing at us.
Ayrat takes a step forward and disappears into the dark opening of the cave. You try to catch up to the hunter, but he escapes you as if in a dream. The fiery darkness smells of blood and burning wood. In the deep of the cave, you find the wolf shepherd and a werewolf in a ragged soldier's coat. Beside them is a pack of wolves, Ayrat's body by their feet.
What's wrong with Ayrat?
He didn't leave my pack any choice.
Ayrat told me you killed his wife. And now you killed him?
Killed his wife? He thought so. But it's not true. You know yourself that I'm not a Newell spirit. I remember what happened. Fiery Short is to blame for that death. I know who's to blame. Though I think you're not ready to learn it.
I'm ready.
You know yourself who sends Shorts. And that Short smelled of your sorcery.
But I wasn't a witch then.
Yes, you were too young. But your Shorts were owned by another Khaldun.
It can't be. Who are you?
I think you know. You mention me in your Zagavers quite often.
Wolf Shepherd. I need to break the wolf seal.
I know, this is your choice. A hard and a difficult one. Nikolai will break the seal.
I came for the soldier.
You want to take him, but he will be better with me, safer.
Among wolves?
His soul will be safe. He can always fall from grace among men. But be it as you wish. You didn't walk all this way in vain. Take Nikolai, but I have to go.
The wolf shepherd disappears in the acrid smoke of fire in front of your eyes. You quickly perform a ritual for Nikolai. Nikolai opens his eyes, and before you can say anything, the black book flies out of your hands. one more seal is broken. The seal breaks with a flash and clash of force. You look around. It seems as if the fire has combined with ancient sorcery to begin to destroy this cave.
Hold on! The cart's about to turn over! Vasilisa! What? Fire?
Jesus Christ, you remember! So you haven't eaten anything! That's at least one good piece of news.
I think wife and I, we were on our way to get married with the guests.
That's right. We were cursed. I couldn't protect you.
Cursed? How? Where are we?
The procession has turned to wolves, Kolya. I think the cave is about to collapse. I'll explain everything later. We need to get out of here.